Welcome to the bold analysis. Oburu Odinga has spoken about the need for ODM party to remain open for 2027 negotiations. And in his statement, in an exclusive interview that was done by NTV, he's saying Kenya Kwanza, that ODM can form a coalition with Kenya Kwanza. But that is not the only option. That has been the position. But I'll try to explain something on this statement of we support Ruto until 2027. And I'll explain to you why all these other voices exist. At the center of this push and pull is a two-term battalion charged, funded by the deep state, pushing for prior endorsement. And I'll tell you why ODM party should not fall for the trap of early Ruto endorsement. Someone asked me, Kevin, why do you think Ruto wants to be endorsed this early while election is just in 2027? Why does he want the endorsement now? This is your podcast. I've given you a hint of why you need to watch this podcast to the end. And kindly subscribe to our channel, click the notification bell, and like our videos. My Team UK, I have your update. Team UK. Today is date 2nd. For the 3 years I've been doing political analysis, 3 or 4 years, yeah. Started in 20. Hey, it's 4 years. I started in 2021. For the 4 years, and I started. This is my anniversary month. I started in this month. If you check this channel, the first video nilifanya hiyo in this month of November. So, you guys, for the last 1 year, not for the last 1 month, I've had an increase of 34%. So this is my birthday month. So this is the channel month. So make sure you guys, my team from UK, subscribe this month. I'll tell you by December, I'll tell you how we've reached, even though now every update, because here we do in-depth analysis. Make sure you subscribe. And also, let me just give you an update about our project we are doing there. I just have to remind you, because some people have asking me, Kevin, how far has it gotten? And I may not get to your WhatsApp. We are currently already, it is building. The building is going on. We are building a house for a builder. When alikuwa mpata ajali, he got in an accident and came back home crippled. The wife left. He was forced to take care of the children and now had to do some manual jobs in a window. And when this case was brought to us, we visited, and my team opted that because he had a very house that was in a bad condition, we put up a house for him and the children. That is currently underway, and the only gap that is now remaining is to find out how we can put up a business for him, hata kama anafanya ka shop nyumbani, and also pay fees for the children that we'll do probably by next week.
Niko chini, hapa ndio nyumba yangu, niko na watoto 4 hapa. Sasa naomba tu kama mnaweza munisaidie nipate nyumba mzuri. Juu hii nyumba yangu hata iko karibu kuanguka. Na hapa ndio nimelala na watoto. Haki naomba tu kwa unyenyekevu na moyo wa Mungu munisaidie haki.
I have taken time to listen to this Oburu soundbite explaining his viewpoint as the party leader. That was his first interview as the party leader of the ODM party, as how the party should move, the position of the party moving forward.
Will be seen based on the agenda which we have with them. If we build this relationship and gel well and work together, there is nothing to prevent us from working together to win the next election. If we feel that we were given a raw deal, that we have not worked well, at the end of our arrangement, this broad-based government, then we have options to talk to other people. We have not tied ourselves and our hands to an arrangement which now makes it impossible for our party to talk to anybody else in case we are not in agreement with the implementation and we are not satisfied that we have been given, if we feel that we have been given a raw deal, that our people have not received what they are supposed to get in terms of development, in terms of justice, and so on, then we are free to join with any other formation. That's what we are saying. We are not saying that we are not going to work with Ruto, because he is one of the options which is there open for us to continue.
Not the only option.
But not. Throughout Oburu's interview, I made sure he has defended Babu Owino against the Mbadi team that have been running narratives that Babu is so young and Babu, I don't know, undermined Raila. He's also ruled out the possibility of handing a direct ticket to Johnson Sakaja, who is gunning for Nairobi governor. I am not so sure that Sakaja now does not need the ODM ticket, because that ODM ticket was only relevant to him if it was Raila Odinga who would have given him an endorsement power. And also, he was asked about Vihiga. He has differed with the Wanga battalion that were threatening that Vihiga, is Rigathi Gachagua associate. And he has also refrained from attacking Rigathi. He's refrained from attacking Rigathi. Oh, they think Rigathi is a tribe, always Rigathi this, Rigathi this. He's refrained from that, and that is also to mean that probably is opening the doors really for Kalonzo and Rigathi team in Bondo. Now, there are a lot of, divergent voices coming from the ODM party, and everyone is gunning for an opportunity. I want you to look at this video. This is Simba Arati taking ODM campaigns to Kajiado. There is no by-election in Kajiado. Methinks that Simba Arati wants to be governor to seek re-election in Kisii. But here is him campaigning and those ODM merchandise and caps in Kajiado. I've looked at that video. Those caps and shirt are simply written Simba Arati. Now, that makes me understand, and I've tried to find out, that probably there is a lot of money that was used in organizing that rally, kutengeneza hizo shirts and all those caps. I don't know, and I don't believe that they were handed over to him by the ODM party, from the ODM party secretariat. Why am I saying so? I'm saying so because if that rally was organized na alienda akaambiwa achukue cap na vitu za ODM aende, I would have seen other ODM leaders would have been there. Simba Arati was there alone. Simba Arati is another deputy party leader of the ODM party. It is Simba, Abdul Swamad, and Godfrey Osotsi. So amongst the three, any one of them could ascend to be the position of the party leader. Okay? And this was his speech.
Ndugu zangu, dada zangu, tuiombee nchi yetu. Na nataka niwaambie sisi, jamaa anasema hapa Simba, don't be coward. Mimi kama Simba, wacha nitoe kofia hii. Mimi kama Simba nitasimama pamoja na watu wetu wa Kenya hii kuhakikisha upuuzi fulani umeisha. Wacha niwaambie, wale mliona wakati niliingia ofisini, serikali hii kupitia mtu ambaye alitolewa ofisini walituma JSU 2 platoons wakakuja wakafunga ofisi yangu. Askari karibu 50 wa JSU, kila mtu ako na bunduki yake. Nikamwambia afadhali nife nikiwa nimesimama, lakini siwezi piga magoti mbele ya askari.
So you must realize that there seem to be people sprouting. Simbarat is at crossroads at the moment because the possibility of Matiang'i being in the presidential ticket is high, and Matiang'i is already the deputy party leader of Jubilee Party, and probably to the general I want to believe the president has announced, the former president Uhuru Kenyatta has given that okay, and to my end is also preparing ground and could be handed the Jubilee Party. So like someone like Karati has two options. He either goes to defend that seat through ODM and face off with a homeboy candidate backed by Matiang'i's party, a candidate who will say, I'm going to fight for Matiang'i huko mbele, or he decamps from ODM and join Matiang'i's party, hoping that he'll get the ticket. You know, there are several dynamics that are coming. Or thrusts to the national politics. What do you think is up to? I'm also leaving that for your interpretation. You can also do that analysis. I want us to look at another voice. The Vihiga, the drama in Vihiga. Today, the president attended an event in Vihiga, and that event was about some church service. So in Vihiga, the former ODM rebels were regrouped to chant William Ruto's two-term. I'm two-term director. I'm two-term director, this and that. Two-term director this, two-term director that. And Godfrey Osotsi had to come out and tell the president face head-on that ODM has its structures. Don't talk to us through your rebels.
The last thing the bishop said, it is in giving that we receive blessing. And Your Excellency, I know that you give a lot of contribution in the church. I also give what I can. But I think what is important in giving, we are giving so that one day our names will be in the book of life. So that when Jesus comes, we'll be counted as those who are with him. And more important, the bishop said, if you give, unapata nini? Baraka. Your Excellency, because you have given to this church, mimi nitakuwa sasa director ya two-term. Na usitishwe na vijana dogo. At my age now, I've done politics in this country. If vijana dogo hapa kwa ODM, endeni polepole. Thank you.
Kwa sababu ya hizi barabara anajenga, atapanda juu. Kwa sababu ya hizi nyumba zinajengwa, atapanda juu. Kwa sababu ya hizi soko zinajengwa, atapanda juu. Na kwa sababu ya hizi stadium zinajengwa, atapanda juu, na yeye atatangulia kutoka nje. Na kuna bishop amesema hapa, yeye pia anataka umtembelee. Na kuna kitu anataka kukuambia juu ya 2027. Hata usimtembelee sana, kwa sababu nilikuwa nimesikia ni nini atataka kwenda kukuambia. Anataka kukuambia wewe ni two-term. Enda tu mtembelee, lakini hiyo ndio habari alikuwa kuambie. Asante sana, Mungu awabariki watu wa Vihiga.
Asante mbunge wa Langata. Sasa turuke tuende Teso, mbunge wa Teso South, Mary Emase.
Nimeona wabunge wangu wa ODM wamesimama hapa wameongea. Lakini chama cha ODM kiko na structures. Na juzi tumetoa msimamo wetu. Mimi ningekuomba rais, just address us through our structures. Wabunge wengine wakisimama hapa hawaongee kwa niaba ya ODM. Kama Mheshimiwa Elisha, Mheshimiwa Jalango, hawa tuliofukuza kwa chama. Kwa hivyo hawezi wakakuja hapa waongee mambo ya ODM. ODM, mkiona Usozi mmeona ODM. Kwa sababu sisi tunakaa kwa ile kamati ya Central Committee. Sisi ndio tunapanga mambo, na sisi hatuna shida na broad base, lakini wabunge mfuata msimamo wa chama, na msimamo wa chama ni ule tulitoa wiki hii. Asanteni sana, Mungu awabariki.
Basi.
Okay? It is very clear that there is a clique that wants a clique that are pushing for Ruto's two-term. I have always asked, and I've heard Oburu saying, ODM party needs to be strong to negotiate. If ODM party today says Ruto tosha, two-term, is there a room for negotiation before 2027 or after 2027? If already ushasema wewe ni presidential candidate, wewe ni two-term, is there a room for negotiation? Is there a room for negotiation? And another question is more interesting. If you support the president now and hand over ODM party to him, will that make ODM party be strong? Because he has UDA, he has a party. He has a party, he has a UDA party. Is UDA party strong? And that is why I still say and repeat. Instead of hiding in ODM and saying, I'm in ODM but we support Ruto, just decamp and join UDA party and support Ruto fully. That is the most honorable thing for a politician who is principled. And even to William Ruto, should start asking them that, Nyinyi, stop lying to me that you support me in your ODM. And ODM, there are several. In ODM, there are voices of two-term and one-term. In UDA, almost a majority of them are saying one-term. Why don't you, well, majority of them are saying two-term. Why don't you join where the two-term, watu ni wengi, and campaign through there? Sifuna has pushed Wanga in the defending edge, and Wanga now has come to explain what she meant by saying they're broad-based candidate.
Katika hii uchaguzi ya Magarini kulikuwa na wagombea wengine ambao mmeelezwa, na sisi tunashukuru kwa sababu kulikuwa na mgombea hapa wa UDA, lakini rais ambaye ni party leader wa UDA alimtoa katika race. Tukasema sisi ni ODM, lakini candidate wetu Harry Kombe anaungwa mkono na chama zote za broad based, ambaye hapa ni UDA na PA. Tunataka tukue very clear. Candidate ni OD, lakini tunaungwa mkono na broad based parties ambaye ilikuwa ni UDA na PA. Na sisi kwa hiyo tunashukuru.
I want to tell you something here. William Ruto and Kenya Kwanza are pushing for an early endorsement. There are two voices I'm waiting to hear. I'm waiting to hear the voice of James Orengo and Anyang' Nyong'o, because I strongly vouch for a council. A council should be formed to lead the party. And the council to lead the party instead of, because this thing, what I mean is Oburu will be overwhelmed. Oburu will be overwhelmed. This is the reason why the president is pushing for political patronage from the ODM party.
This country is going to move from a third world country to a first world country because we have the vision for it. I am asking members of parliament, I am asking all leaders, we will be presenting proposals to parliament in the next few weeks on how to move Kenya from a third world country to a first world country. We need to deal with the challenge of infrastructure. We need possibly 1.5 trillion shillings to deal with roads, rail and airports. We need possibly another 1.5 trillion shillings to do energy, and another 1.5 trillion shillings to do agriculture, so that we bring under production another 2 million acres under irrigation. 4 trillion shillings 4 trillion shillings is possibly the money we need to be able to move our nation from importing food to exporting products. Making sure that all our regions and areas are accessible because we have roads and rail. And to raise that money, we do not have to increase taxes. We do not have to do anything extra. Ni akili inahitajika ndio Kenya iweze kupiga hatua ya kwenda mbele. And that we have. The same way other nations change their status, move their countries from third world to first world, Kenya can move from a third world country to a first world country in our lifetime.
That is the reason. What do I mean? Umesikia bills are being brought to parliament. There is a way the president knows how to package, how to create imageries on people's minds. There is a way the president knows how to push his agenda and to manipulate you into towing that line. There is a bill that is supposed to be presented. We've not yet seen it. Those are the ones he's talking about. And he knows that the bills are being clothed as the ladder from, third world to first world country. I've not seen the bills and what, because I'm calling them bills because they're being taken to parliament, and parliament, the work for parliament is legislation. So I think they're bills that are supposed to be legislated and they're supposed to lead up to something. There is some fund. He's talking about some fund to be created here and there, and he's saying, I don't want to increase taxes. And I can tell you, I can warn you early, and what I foresee here is the president is coming back again for your pockets. Is coming back again for another wave of levy or tax, or not levy or something, deduction to be marked by who and this, or some toll roads to be tolled. There is something coming. However, I don't know how simplistic, I'm not an economist. We have Vision 2030. And I know there were steps that we've been putting to achieve Vision 2030. What I highly doubt is whether just by passing a piece of legislation, or let's escalate it, let's say, by creating a fund for building roads, by creating that fund, what the parliaments are supposed to pass is simply going to jump us to a world class, to first world class. I doubt. I doubt. The irony of this, anaongelea agriculture, and he's talking about how we are raising money. But this is the irony. In the same event, the president gave a church 50 million, donated 50 million for a church service. Tuko na shida ya pesa. In the same Western tour, 8,000 delegates were all given bahashas carrying 5,000 shillings. That's a whopping 40 million. The same week, Anne Waiguru, God, go with me to the page of Anne Waiguru. Just go with me to the Facebook page for Anne Waiguru, because there is something I want to show you there. Just to show you that there is, when you talk about world class, we're talking about how we want to do our agriculture, this and that. Look at this post. Anne Waiguru is complaining about the fact that we are importing rice and Mwea rice is stuck. Go with me, 3 days ago. Our Mwea rice farmers have invested heavily to produce high quality Pishori rice, spending about 60 per kilogram. The recent decision to import duty-free basmati rice has flooded the market, pushing prices down just as farmers prepare for a bumper harvest. This threatens their livelihoods and years of progress. I once again urge the national government to prioritize uptake of Mwea rice as a matter of urgency and protect our farmers from supporting the local production, by supporting local production. Safeguarding this sector means securing thousands of households that depend on rice farming and advancing Kenya's goal for true food security and agricultural self-reliance. I agree when Rigathi went to Nyeri and said that, Anne Waiguru, you planned protest against Rigathi because Rigathi said you guys are worshipping Ruto. These are the reason. This should be a reason to organize protests against the state. And Rigathi always, rice inaletwa hapa na ufanye strike size posting in Facebook. A country is allowing cartels to bring rice and is talking about we want to increase our agricultural. The ODM must overcome the temptation to give President Ruto an early endorsement. That will be the biggest blunder, because you know what the president is looking for? He's looking for political goodwill or political infrastructure to bulldoze a policy that I can promise you can attract agitation from the public. If there will be another form of levy or another form of some deduction somewhere, and it faces agitation from the public, ODM will be part and parcel of that mess. So kwa nini anataka mseme tutam sahi? Ndio akipelekta ile bill parliament, amtapiga kelele because mnisema mnamsupport. That is it. And that is what I'm saying. Those are the things that we wait. It is time for ODM to even sit at the fence. When that bill comes and you feel this is not going to be right, you oppose it outright and be with the people. Second reason why they must overcome that temptation. Bwana, and I want to say this in Yolu, Anto Maito wa watch. Karuto nori mbogashagwa. Ngani madua mini Ruto. And this is what I'm saying. If Ruto chased Rigathi Gachagua, who do you think Ruto can't chase? Who do you think? Hey. You see, I had the privilege of analyzing politics in this country in the run-up to 2022. Kenya Kwanza spent more time in Mount Kenya than any other part of the country. I normally see what wanasema tamenda pom. Bwana, hakuna kitu Ruto, there is nothing that Kenya Kwanza have done in Nyanza. Hey, I'm very sure amount of money that was contributed in churches there, the strips that Kenya Kwanza made in Mount Kenya, you cannot compare even with these other things. The way Rigathi Gachagua used to worship, let me tell you guys, Rigathi Gachagua used to worship Ruto like a king, like some small god. He say, our king. So ODM hapa, this is why you must be careful. Even today, you sing totem now until Kenya Kwanza gets the election. You will not be credited for that re-election. In fact, you'll be told what Rigathi is not being told, that you know what? I came to Mount Kenya not through you, not through the leaders. And even Nyanza will say, I came to Nyanza through Baba, and Baba is the one who brought me there. Baba is not there. You guys should not make noise to me. Wacha. Hey. That I tell you. Number 3. There is a pitch on when we are in government, we'll get the development. Do you know why William Ruto frequented Homa Bay and Migori and Kisumu? Do you know why? Because he wanted to appease the masses. And I can tell you, if you act like you've been appeased, and you know, resources are so small, they're limited. So, and they're used sparingly to manage elections. Between now to 2027, there is no tangible development that is going to be done based on parameters away from politics. Now, everything being done will be a political lens. Even next budget will be directed on which region do I want to who? Which people do I want to? That is the direction it's taking. And the moment you act like you've been appeased, you're already totem, I'm telling you, even those projects that are already stalling, the projects will stall there, and you will not be talking because you shall have baptized yourself total. As a region, as a people, as a party, you must look beyond what you're saying. Lastly, ODM party must understand Sifuna, Babu Owino, Caleb Amisi, and a clique. I saw another young person yet in Kasmuel lecturing Sifuna. Who is Kasmuel? It's such a Kasmuel and I don't press conference. Yet Kasmuel wants to address Sifuna. Come on. Kwani ODM has reduced to such a shell. Come on. Come on. We can do better. Yet Kasmuel. Kasmuel is writing a long post on Sifuna. I looked at that and said, like, this one, surely. Surely Kasmuel. Now, the young voices will revolt. And the moment the young voices will walk out, not they will